Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Trucking Risk and Insurance Podcast with your host, Chris Harris of Safety Dawg, and myself, John Farquhar, Summit Risk Solutions. Today, we've got a great guest. He's just recently won a great award. We're going to talk about that. So let's introduce you to Geoff Topping of Challenger Motor Freight.
Welcome to the Trucking Risk and Insurance Podcast.
Hello,
Morning,
Geoff.
Mr. Geoff.
Morning, guys.
Glad you could make it. Glad you could join us on this somewhat sunny day.
Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity. I've been looking forward to this.
Cool.
And this is you recently won the award for dedication to the industry, and that was given out by the National Recruiting Retention Symposium. And honestly, Geoff, I can't think of a more deserving person than Mr. Topping of Challenger Motor Freight. So sincere congrats.
Thank you very much. Much appreciated. I was shocked, surprised, kind of speechless, which is not like me, as you know. I didn't really know what to say.
Yeah, I can't imagine being, I don't want to say, lambasted or caught off, but that's the whole idea of these awards. You're not supposed to know ahead of time. So it's fantastic. Hey,
Awesome.
why do you think Geoff Topping, tell us a little bit about your background and why somebody who would like to emulate you may want to get doing in their world.
Sure. I've been extremely fortunate in this industry of ours. I've had some great mentors along the way. I've had some great opportunities provided to me, ones that I honestly didn't feel like I was ready for or deserved. I started my career as a driver back when I was 18 years old, doing midnight switches for Gibson Transport out of Alston. I used to run a switch to Windsor every night at midnight, and couldn't imagine, or still find it hard to believe I'm sitting where I am today doing something like this and in the position I am. Worked as a driver for a long time, was an owner-operator for a few years with Laidlaw Bulk and then with McKinnon Transport. Had opportunity to come inside at McKinnon Transport and worked as a dispatcher there. And again, was given opportunities of things that I didn't think I would be capable of or was qualified for, but Bill and Evan thought that I was and gave me those opportunities. I returned to Gibson Transport for a while, worked in the office there as a planner, and then got into sales, actually. Again, something I didn't think I was capable of or should be doing, but Brian and Leonard and Bing and Mike gave me the opportunity to do that. Worked in sales for a number of years with them. That's when I first joined Challenger. After that, in a sales capacity, and was in the sales side here for a number of years. Returned back to McKinnon Transport in sales for a number of years, and then returned back to Challenger and worked as general manager of our bulk division and our climate division, which we now moved back into. Those were separate companies in those days. And we moved them back into the main business and their divisions of the business. Honestly, thought I'd be returning to sales at that point. And then our president, Jim Peoples, who's our president and CEO now, suggested that I go work in the recruiting side of things. I didn't have a lot of interest in that. I didn't think I knew anything about that. And Jim suggested that I probably knew more than I thought I did, and that probably I should have a career in the HR side of the trucking industry, and we would work towards that. And he could see that someday I'd be able to be the leader of our HR functions. Again, I didn't think I could be, didn't think I knew anything about that. But as I look back at my career, just like that last thing we spoke about, I've been so blessed with the people that are in this industry. And I know we all talk about how wonderful the people are in this industry, but I think that's the proof of it. I was given opportunities I didn't think I was ready for, but somebody else saw something in me and was willing to take a chance on me and give me the guidance, the coaching, the training, outside training with a coach, or go to take courses or those kind of things. And just the investment that they were willing to make in Geoff Topping all the way along has been, when I look back at it, it's pretty touching to think that those people took that risk and chance on me, because these are long time organizations that have been around a long time and have people come and go through them all the time, but yet they reached out and wanted me to try something different. And I think when you look at a lot of people in our industry, we're pretty lucky that way. We've grown people up through our industry in many different areas, whether it's in HR or safety, or people that are the presidents and CEOs of transportation and logistics companies today, people that are on the insurance and risk side started, doing different things, people in the maintenance side that are now national figures on the maintenance side of maintenance, started their career as mechanics, or maybe not even mechanic, maybe drivers, maybe working in a yard. Those, and I think that's one of the real special things about our industry is if you work hard and are willing to work hard, people will take chances on you and give you opportunities and maybe that happens in other industries. I haven't worked in any other industry since I was 18. So I guess I shouldn't judge what other industries, how they do that, but we're pretty lucky in our industry, the way people grow the people within it.
I think there's some really neat similarities in different industries and whatnot, but I think one of the key factors that you've touched on here is other people have seen what capabilities you have when you didn't know you had them yourself, and I know Chris and I can kind of touch on that as well, but it always takes somebody else to kind of see something, a little twinkling of something and going, I think we could dig in there. I think we can pull that out and one, you'll be better and our company will be better for it because there's a talent in there we need to bring out. So.
Yeah. And that takes a real knack. I mean, that's something I try to do now with people that within our organization. And it's a fun experience to do too, because you get to see somebody that has that, if someone would have said, I'm going to be doing this again, I would have said never. I don't know what happened. Now I can't believe I do anything else. I love what I do. And all of those experiences lead up to it and give me background and experience to be able to do what I do today. So it's I guess that's kind of one of the things that leaders and coaches and mentors are supposed to do. And I don't know if there's real ways to train people to do that. I think it's just being with people, watching how they work and then helping them grow. Right. This industry's been outstanding to me, and the life I have today is because of that. And that's one of the reasons I try to give back to the industry as I can, because it's been so good to me, and it can be so good to so many, not just me, many other people, and it will continue to be that way.
Yeah. You used the word earlier, mentors. And I think that's really key here. It's not training that we get to get us where we are. It's mentors, that help us along. They bring something out of us. I've had many mentors as well, and they just bring something out of us that we didn't even know we had inside to make us better humans, better humans to start with. So, our role now, as you're in your position now, is to carry that torch, be those mentors to other people and see inside them what they can do and bring, and there's nothing more fulfilling, I think, than being a mentor to somebody and seeing them grow, them flower into shape and whatnot. It's just awesome.
And I used to always think, why won't the mentor give me the answer when I would go to the but now I understand it's to help the other individual learn how to get the answer.
Yep.
I can remember many times thinking, come on, I've given you all my 3 scenarios here. Why can't you tell me which one to use? And that's not my job, Geoff. So.
Geoff, I got 2 quick questions. Well, the first one's quick. The second one's not so quick. What is your job title today?
So today my job title is the Chief People Officer for Challenger Motor Freight. So I look after, or the groups that I look after and get to be a part of is the over the road safety, health and safety, driver recruiting, human resources, payroll, and our risk management group.
So quite involved. Now, my second question, name and expand on a little bit, maybe 2 or 3 mentors that you've had, and what you remember, how they guided you. Because I too have had some great mentors.
Okay, well, one of the ones that is probably the biggest name comes to mind first, and many people will know the name, is Bill McKinnon.
Yeah.
Bill McKinnon, of McKinnon Transport, was a mentor, a friend, a coach in a lot of ways other times, but kind of gave me my first opportunity out of a truck into the office. Kept in touch with Bill throughout my entire career, even when I wasn't working with him. Obviously couldn't always tell him everything that I wanted to talk about because they were different businesses, competitive businesses, friendly competitors at that. Yeah. But one of the things Bill probably had the biggest impact on me, in both professional and personal. Bill was an amazing man, as you all, both of you know for sure. Mm-hmm. A lot of people on here, and Bill always had his golden rule, as he said, treat people the way they want to be treated. And he would say it that way, but then he'd expand on it a bit of not the way they want to be treated, but the way they expect to be treated, and how they should be treated. And, he would use lines like, it's just as simple as Bill sees it, but it was, be a good person, work hard, be true to your word, and tell people the truth, even when they're not going to want to hear that answer, because they're going to respect you more for telling them the truth up front, even if it's not the answer they want. And you look back at Bill or Mr. McKinnon, however you want to refer to him, he lived by that, and people respected him even when he was telling you something he didn't want to hear. You could appreciate it, and you appreciate it more later that he was like. Another one was a lady named Linda Barlow, who doesn't even work in our industry. I met her through somebody that worked at Challenger. Linda was a VP of HR for BlackBerry or RIM. She did work with Flanagan Foods before she retired, actually, but probably transportation was obviously part of her role, but not just transportation. And she kind of helped me with that next level of stuff. And again, she would never give me the answer when I wanted to help me. And it was a funny story. I met Linda through a lady that worked here, actually, and I was new to HR. And she said, a friend of mine is a senior HR person who likes to mentor people. Perhaps I could put you in touch with her. And we met for lunch, and we started talking, and she said, I'd be glad to help mentor you into your new position, and started telling me about hers and how she worked at RIM or BlackBerry. And the funniest part of it was my sister actually reported to her at BlackBerry in the HR side of things. And we didn't put that together at first because name differences and stuff like that. But she still is someone I talk to occasionally. She's retired now and enjoying herself, but she just kind of helped me with that next level of stuff that was specific to HR and specific to people. I think of what she taught me about succession planning and what she taught me about employee relations or dealing with difficult people or difficult situations was just pretty touching. And again, someone who had no relationship to me at first, who didn't have any relationship to our industry or even our business, but just wanted to help make other people better. And, we'd have some long talks about situations, sometimes on a Sunday night or sometimes at lunch on a Wednesday. And just someone who really, still doesn't appear that she had anything to benefit by helping me, but she always took that time and did. I know it's something that is fulfilling for her and she wants to do that, but those are the two people that would come to mind.
Well, and I think the reward for a mentor is when you now step up to mentor the next generation.
Agreed.
And that's the way you can give back. We all do it, I think. I hope.
Well, I was going to say, as a mentor, probably one of the things I enjoy most is what Geoff had said. I'm not giving you the answer, but they never gave me the answer. I had to figure it out, and the sad part is, or not sad part, I shouldn't use that word, but anyway, the thing is, the answer at that time may not be the answer you need down the road. So you can't be giving the answer because that may only apply now. The thing is, I'm making you think for yourself.
Yeah.
And I think that was so cool because I understand your frustration there, when a big mentor in my life would, and it was funny because like, just give me the answer. What the heck is wrong? And no. So now I've got the opportunity to do it with some young folks and I'm going, oh, I love this.
Well, I think you learn so much more when you take responsibility for the decision, because sometimes it doesn't work out the way you envisioned. But it's a real learning opportunity.
And I've been fortunate to have mentors and coaches, and I believe there's a big difference in those two things.
Yes.
And I've had the opportunity to have both. And the coaches, the way I describe the difference is a mentor's there to help you, and that's their total job, is to help you figure out things and become better. And the coach is there to do that, as well as if you need a kick in the butt, they're there to give you a kick in the butt. If you need somebody to put their arm around you and it's going to be okay, they're there to do that. And sometimes a coach does both of those things at the very same moment. How did that just happen?
Yeah.
And they can be a little more bold. Bold isn't even the right, a little more direct at times because you've agreed in that relationship that that's what you want from them. You want them to coach you through that. Yeah. I think sometimes you need both, right? And maybe at different stages of careers, you need one or the other. And I know at times I needed both.
I've never thought of I always looked at coaches and mentors as the same, but it's an interesting distinction you've made.
Well, he's definitely true. And you can get that hug or you can get that kick in the butt. Yeah. I've seen that come many times.
Well, I think that there was people that work with me will be laughing right now because I like to make circles and talk about the overlapping part of it. But the coach and mentors kind of overlap. To me, doesn't mean it's right. It's just the way I view it. They're separate things, but when they come together, there is an overlap for sure.
Sure.
Sometimes the mentor will act as a coach and the coach as a mentor, but I kind of think of them as two different fields of study or expertise, however you want to word that. They do collide and overlap, but I've had some that have given me that kick and hug. That's for sure. So.
Well, and
looking back, I needed those.
Yeah. Well, and either way, it's a positive in your life.
Yeah.
It's going to help you get to the next stage.
Yeah. And what is, Geoff, look at the three of us. We're all getting, I'm the most, I can't even call this gray. I call
Platinum.
it white now. But
I call it chrome.
Chrome. Ooh, I like that. Yeah, that's a good one.
What is the next thing for Geoff Topping?
I don't honestly know. like most of my career, I didn't know.
And I think that's true for most of us.
Yeah. I'll continue to do what I'm doing, I hope. I love what I'm doing. Challenger is an amazing company, an amazing organization. We're now part of an even bigger organization with the acquisition of Challenger by Fast Freight. I'm starting to work a bit with some of the people at the Fast Freight companies as well on some of our, how we can do people related functions, HR, safety, all those kind of things together. So I think that's going to be exciting because that's kind of the merging of two groups, and it's not a full on merger. We're certainly separate operations, but how do we tap into each other's strengths and each other's opportunities for improvement? And it's going to be interesting for sure. And it's going to be rewarding and exciting. And what I really like about it is I'm not feeling a lot of, we're better than you, you're better than us, those kind of things. we each have strengths and we each have areas of opportunity, and because we're two different businesses that don't really cross each other. I mean, Fast Freight and CDI, ASL, that group of people is LTL, drayage, and home delivery. And, we're known as a full truckload carrier. So our businesses don't compete that much. And so we're able to, on the other sides of the business, on the people side, on the safety, all those kind of things, we're able to share how we do things, how you do things, and learn from each other, because we're not the same, right? We're different lines of business. And I think that's going to be an exciting thing for sure.
Cool. Yeah. So it sounds like some great learning opportunities and opportunities to complement one another, with
For
different
sure.
stuff,
Yeah.
because you're not competing, like you say, but there's things there that can make each of you better and work together down the road.
Yeah. And ultimately, as an organization, we can offer, any customer a full suite of services now. Really, we got every aspect of it. So it should be interesting.
But I think one of the other things you've got there that our audience needs to know is not only have you got that suite of services for customers, you've also got those suite of opportunities for employees, right? Like maybe you've got a guy who's been running long haul for a long time and he's kind of going, hey, I want to kind of slow down a little bit more and whatnot, but Challenger doesn't have that position where maybe Fast Freight does. So in essence, we don't necessarily lose an employee or a driver. We just shift them to another division.
Yeah. And I think of that, John, in an even bigger scale than just our driving force.
Yep.
Really, as an organization now, we have an opportunity for anybody that wants to work in transportation or logistics from coast to coast in Canada.
Yeah.
I mean, Fast Freight has terminals across the country.
Sure.
If you want to work in finance and you live in Calgary, really, we have a spot now. You want to work on a dock, you want to be a driver, you want to be a mechanic, you want to work in HR, you work owner operators, it just goes on and on, right?
Yeah. Lots of opportunities. That's awesome.
And let's face it, our entire society, there's, we need to figure out ways to bring talent into our industry, not just our industry, but many others. And I think that's a great opportunity for us as an organization to get people into our industry and our business.
Yeah. Well, like you say, you've got, your coast to coast and have those opportunities, even though, Canada's only this wide on the map. It's still a long way.
For sure.
And I can't let the head of HR, although that's not what you called it, but that's certainly one of your roles. What is Challenger looking for at the moment in the way of employees?
In the way of employees, so owner operators, for sure. We continue to want to grow our owner operator piece of the business. Drivers in certain areas. Van division for sure is always looking for more people, as well as our reefer division. People that want to continue to grow their career might want to move into our flatbed division, those kind of things. So we're looking for drivers that want to maybe move into a more specialized section. Tech talent as far as IT, and I don't know enough about IT to other than be dangerous, but we have an outstanding technology team here at Challenger, and tech talent is hard to find in any part of the country right now. In the Kitchener-Waterloo area being a tech center, it's certainly very competitive. One area of our business that we need to continue to get more people into, and I think everybody does, and one that's often overlooked, not just in our industry, but in society, is the trades. We need more mechanics coming into the industry. Again, society-wise, we need more carpenters, plumbers, bricklayers, millwrights, electricians, all of those things.
Yep.
And I think we as a society haven't done a great job of promoting those trades as much as we should. And I think we got to continue to focus on that. And that's, we try to get out to high schools and colleges and things like that to talk about it. And
awesome.
And it's one of those things, go back to one of my mentors, Bill McKinnon, taught me that for us to have a strong business, we need to have a strong industry. So whether people want to, obviously I would like them to come work at Challenger or one of our groups, but if we can get people interested in working in our industry in all those areas, it's important for sure.
Yep.
No, it's hugely important. It, as you said, well, actually, I was reading an article the other day, "The Demise of the White Collar Job" was the title or something like that. And I really do believe, I mean, I look at my son, he's a Red Seal carpenter now, and I know what he's making. He's not starving. Let me say that.
Yeah, there's some good opportunities out there. There's no doubt.
And I think any of the trades, like you say, and you left out body work, because we need that in the trucking industry too. Unfortunately, we got to fix drivers' little mistakes sometimes. You know, Geoff, last word. Or what else would you like to talk about just before we wrap up?
I think it's just, again, I'd like to thank the industry more than anything. I mean, the industry's been great to me. It's given me tons of opportunities, ones I didn't ever dream of. It's allowed me to provide a great life for my family. And I just really want to thank the people in the industry, I guess. And, I talked about the McKinnons, I talked about the Gibsons, Dan Einwichter. I mean, it's not as involved as he was anymore, or was previously. Still involved in our company, but not involved like he was. But he gave me opportunities, when he was the one running the company. And I'm touched and humbled as I think back to the way this has all turned out. Because I didn't have any dreams of that. I wasn't unhappy driving a truck. I was very happy driving a truck. Really thought that's what I wanted to do, but apparently I didn't. So I just, I guess that would be the big thing is if you're in the industry, it's okay if you want to drive a truck and you're happy like that and you're good at it. There's nothing wrong with that. And I don't want anybody to ever think that there is. And there's nothing wrong with being a mechanic or working in the finance department of a company and doing that for a long period of time. Every organization needs people to do many different roles, and each role is as important in making it happen at the end of it. So if you want opportunities, our industry offers them for sure. And if you've found what you like doing and you found a company that you like doing it at, it's okay to stick with that and stay there as well. There's as much honor in doing that and looking after your family and having the life you want, and maybe that's some hobbies that you want, and whether it's a service club or you like to do fishing or you like whatever it is, horses doesn't matter, motorcycles, maybe some of us like those. It doesn't matter what it is, but if you're happy doing that and can provide for your family doing it and live a good life, I think that's the important part.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
I don't know if that made any sense, but
no. Well, you know what? To sum it up really quick, there are so many opportunities in the trucking industry. You will never go wrong. If you want to stay where you're at in the trucking industry, you're welcome to. It's very much needed. If you want to advance, that opportunity's there as well. There's just so much opportunity in this industry, which I don't see in other industries. They just don't. They're very limited in what they are. But the trucking is so vast. There's so much that touches it. It's, you've said that. That's what's really needed to know for the folks out there.
And I think all three of us all started off as drivers. Did we not, John?
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, the three of us sitting here in our different positions, and I agree with you, Geoff. My family has benefited greatly from the trucking industry. It provided them with a good, living. So I don't think I know they didn't need anything that I didn't provide. Most families want other stuff, maybe fancier vacations and stuff. But hey, there was always food on the table and we had a nice house. You know what I mean? And that was all because of the trucking industry. So, Geoff Topping of Challenger Motor Freight, recent winter.
No, You're thinking of your beard there, Chris. Yeah. Winter.
Recent winner of the Dedication to the Industry Award. And really, congrats again, Geoff. Thanks so much for coming on the Trucking Risk and Insurance podcast. What a great interview with Geoff Topping of Challenger Motor Freight. Thanks for coming on the show, Geoff. Join us again next week when we present another wonderful speaker. All right, that's it for this week. Trucking Risk and Insurance podcast. John and I, we are out of here.